Hello, everyone. Hello. Um, okay. Get to go kill this slime over here. So that's very exciting. Don't forget to comment on the subscribe button and like the bell. Like that bell so that if you like the bell, maybe even the bell can go out afterwards sometime. Get to know each other a little better. No pressure. I mean, nobody says it's going anywhere. Just you and the bell having a good time. I mean, look, it's 2021. Can't a person and a bell catch a couple drinks after work without everybody in the office going, "Ooh, I heard about you and the bell." Like, ugh, come on, people. Grow up. Grow up. I mean, I didn't think that I would have to say it in 2021. I mean, my God, you think you're making progress. So, this is a slime, and I'm hitting it with my bare hands now. What? I thought my sword was good. But, I mean, I guess I could just punch slimes forever. I like hitting things with swords. It makes a very satisfying whomp. A whomp, mind you. Not a womp, a whomp. Let's hope the windscreen on this microphone is adequate. Even if it's not, who gives a crap? This is a video that will only be viewed by people with too much time on their hands, and I don't know what else. How else would I describe myself? La da 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 da. It's the D-O-double-G. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stand right here because I have a dulce de leche flavored snack pack and I want to eat it. As Snoop Canis Majoris Cannabis Smokus would say, it's a snizak pizzak. Don't give me the snizak pizzak. Oh, don't look like they don't say that in the neighborhood parts of town. Anyway, it's a pudding. For you British people, it's a dessert. It's soft dessert. You know, like, okay, this is weird, but like, the thing that Americans call pudding, the British people don't call it that. Pudding is the term they use just generally for dessert. But the specific thing, the soft, gelatinous, sugary treat that Americans call pudding, British people don't call that because, like I said, pudding, dessert in general. So what do they call the thing we call pudding? Crack cocaine. They call it crack cocaine. Anyway, I studied abroad and I got so used to calling it crack cocaine, came back to America, became a real problem, developed a real habit. Anyway, just out of rehab, doing well. What I love about snack packs, they taste just like crack cocaine does in England. I mean, that American crack cocaine is like, unlike crack cocaine in England, which is like sugary and delicious. In America, it's like detrimental to the African American community. That probably seems very racist. It was tagging on a Dave Chappelle joke, but unlike Dave Chappelle, I'm not an African American gentleman, nor am I the greatest comedian of my time, so apologies on all the things. Okay, we're gonna need some iron. Oh god, see the problem is, okay, let's level set. Just lay this out there. Just put it out for the people so they know what's happening, they know what's going on. It's the weekend. This is the weekend. You got your big Kend, you got your weekend. This is the small one. Like that donkey that hanging out with Jesus. Small one. Anyway, how do people say donkey? Like, that is some ridiculous nonsense. And I know that you Philadelphians, you people from the city of brotherly love, yeah, you'd be like, hey, it's a donkey, because you don't say monkey, so obviously. And the thing that I would say to that is that you are assuming a uniform spelling to pronunciation rule for English, and I teach English. I have a master's degree in English, okay? And so I can tell you that due to the very nature of English word origins, spelling to pronunciation is not at all consistent, as evidenced by a book by the great Theodore Geisel, The Tough Coughs as He Plows His Dough. I don't know why you would hit your dough with a plow, but the fact that you can have a sentence that is grammatically correct, that every word ends in the same 4 letters, and you've got off, ow, o, you've got 4 different sounds to those letters, that is absurd. And, I mean, were it for the fact that English, like, if English had derived merely from, you know, your Anglo, which would have been heavily Germanic in origin, and your Norman, which is sort of Proto-French. Thanks, 1066, you sweet, sweet Battle of Hastings. Anyway, what I was going to tell you is that, as adults occasionally do on weekends, if I seem scattershot, it's because it's the weekend, and I am an adult, and I do what I want. So, you know, responsibly, in the confines of my own home, but it means that my brain will be rather scattershot, and my thoughts might wander hither and yon. That's Y-O-N, like yonder, not Y-A-W-N. My thoughts don't yawn. They wander. They wander where? They wander both hither, over here, and yon, over there. Hither and yon. I'm speaking English. I promise. Sometimes people do not believe me. They're like, why don't I understand any of the words you're saying? And I say, because you didn't pay attention in school. How do I know this? I teach school. So, if you paid attention, you would know things. It's basic school 101. It's the 101 class of kindergarten. Pay attention, you'll learn things. Anyway, regardless, I'm jumping on my bed in Minecraft. Oh, so speaking of being one of those whatchamacallums, teachers. Anyway, yeah, rough teaching time. I mean, it's a rough teaching time just in general because, you know, at the beginning of the year, they're like, yeah, we're gonna do hybrid learning, and excuse me, I don't edit. Anyway. At the beginning of the year, when we were told, hey, we're gonna do hybrid learning, and we were like, cool, what's that? And they were like, we don't know. And we were like, how do we do it? And they said, you're creative. You're creative. And yeah, we get no extra pay for that, so that is sweet. You're creative. That just means do more work. And frankly, I have. And you know, this week was exceptionally rough. The last couple of days, especially because, you know, okay, we had parent-teacher conferences, which are already parent-teacher conferences. We are supposed to be there at we were supposed to be at school in the morning by 7:30, but the missus and I like to get there early so we get a thing or two done before students get there, and so we come in at 7. Well, on parent-teacher conference days, how long are we at the school? Till 7, and that's not just because we're like, oh, we're, you know, super eager go-getters. We're gonna just go get these parents. Nope, that is how long we are scheduled for. So even if we came in at 7:30, then it would only be an 11.5-hour day. It's a long day. It's a ridiculously long day. And, you know, they can be like, oh, no, it's not. You're only teaching classes for a half day. And it's like, yeah, why don't we just let the students go home that day and we'll take a regular day of just meeting with parents. Anyway, regardless. So, early on in this day, another teacher comes into my classroom and is like, all right, it's time. And I'm like, what now? And they're like, go get your shot. Because it was the day that parent-teacher conference day was also the day that we got our second dose of the Moderna vaccine, which, I mean, I'm absolutely thrilled to be getting the vaccine, given the fact that, like, well, all the things, frankly, all the things. I mean, I'm a teacher in a poor rural school district, and, you know, reasons. I mean, the number of times that my children have come home with lice, alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, my children can pick up any dumb thing, you know what I'm saying? Disease-wise or otherwise. And, you know, they're like, I don't know if their immune systems work or not, frankly. They might have the AIDS. Anyway, that's a terrible thing to joke about. My grandfather died of AIDS. Oh, son of a biscuit. Son of a dripped in gravy southern style biscuit. I mean, sweet merciful Jesus. Some of us are just trying to put together a mind that we crafted ourselves. What? Why am I made to do nothing but suffer? Anyway, just calm down. Just calm down, fella. We're gonna hit this slime with a torch. Yeah, that's right. Come at me, slime. I'll torture you to death. But not with the fire. The fire is for something else. Oh, Klaus. You are mein Lieber. You are meine Liebchen. Klaus, your mustache is drooping on one side. Perhaps I have licked your face too aggressively, Klaus. Klaus, no, don't look sad, Klaus. You are still the most handsome man I've ever seen. Now, let us go and make God weep. And an end scene. End scene. Klaus and his droopy mustache. I mean, like, I wasn't made for these times. That's some Weimar Republic humor. Me and Max Raba are going. Raba. I clearly am very German. Actually, I am of highly Germanic descent, which the kind of thing is funny. I have a couple of heritages that I should specifically not be proud of. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's okay to be white, you know? White people are fine, most of them. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of us, and that we found in the last few years. There are a lot of dinguses, like per capita dingus. Oh my god. Anyway, but still though, like, take your average white man and ask him, and even he'll say she got a packed lunch back. No, wait. Take your average white person. They'll have a tendency to probably be reasonable, maybe, I hope. But, like, you can't, like, be super proud of that. You can't, like, you know, because the community I grew up in had a large Hispanic population at our county fairs. There was always a booth where you could, you know, right next to where you buy your Bob Marley blanket, you could get, you know, brown pride shirts, which is like, cool. You have pride in your people who, you know, have had an interesting journey in American history. Like, let's not minimize the contributions of your people, and you know, the fact that basically the entire western half of our country used to belong to Mexico. I mean, let's, you know, anyway, so yeah, brown pride, like, have it, take it, you know, that pride is yours, man. You guys earned it. Anyway, but like, yeah, you can go to the fair, the county fair, and be like, I would like a brown pride shirt, please. In public, you can ask for this. So I would like a brown pride shirt. It's a very normal thing to ask for and receive. If you are at a county fair in a community with a significant Hispanic population. But if you are in a place where you can ask for and receive a white pride shirt, aka the South, come on. Anyway, just kidding. You know, the state that I live in, hint, hint, large western state that is, you know, what most people thought, because it was a territory at the time, that it didn't fight on the side, on any side in the Civil War. Oh, think again, friends. Think again. On the side of the Confederacy, like a bunch of dinguses. Anyway, God. So, yeah, if you live in a place where you can buy a white pride t-shirt and they just have it. They just, you don't, it's not even hard to come by. It's like there's a guy who sells them, that and Trump hats or whatever. And like, yeah, if that is a shirt that you can buy in the place where you live, you need to stop. Like, just go find some other place where they've, heard of years after 1865. Anyway, so what was I talking about? My God, my students always have to put up with how rambly I can be at times, but there is nothing compared to me when I'm, relaxed. It gets some, delightful weekend situations going, and anyway, I can go all night on the most mundane things. I am currently unaware of the passage of time, so this video may already be, it may be like 16 minutes long. It may be 3 days and 16 minutes long. No, 3 days, I would have already woken up feeling terrible tomorrow. Anyway, well, assuming I would have slept. I hate it when you fall off the stair. Oh my God, Jessica. Okay. Just gonna build this pyramid for Satan. Build this pyramid into the sky. Satan is Lord and I love him so much. Do 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 do. Oh my God. I hate to say it, but the concept of an ultimate evil in the universe makes an awful lot more sense than the concept of an ultimate good. I mean, given the chaotic nature of the universe and the fact that it seems to pay little to no mind to the, comings and goings of humans, like, the chaotic, the random, the often harsh and ridiculous things that happen, anyway, I'm thinking of something a student told me in confidence that I can't share, obviously, but like, lovely human beings, great human beings for which I have a great deal of respect. They suffer in pointless ways, and I know so we get into theodicy. Hold up. Define terms quickly so that you all know what I'm talking about. Well, you all, as if I have an audience. Nobody has made it this far. Nobody will make it this far. If you do make it this far, comment and subscribe, and like the subscribe button and comment on the bell. Is it pretty? Is it a pretty bell? Okay, just tell me this. Would a bird like it? Would a bird... Sir, I am the customer, and I believe that sign says that I am always right. So I'm just going to go ahead and need you to tell me that bell, the ringy-dingy-dingy, the bell. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, no. No, yeah. Oh my God. Okay, that's between you and me. I don't think this guy is very good at his job. Oh, yeah. Finally, yes. The bell. Okay. Would a bird. The thing with feathers? No, not Hope. Oh my god. How making Emily Dickinson references. You don't even know what a bell is. This freaking universe, it makes no sense. Chaotic and random. And then one day we're gonna be dead. And we're just gonna have to be okay with that, I suppose. I suppose. Doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo. Yes, always sing Proclaimer's songs after pondering the inevitability of your own death. Oh, what's that you say? You don't know any other Proclaimer songs other than 500 Miles? Parentheses, I'm gonna be. Ah, some of the bench. Not the entire bench, just some of it. Some of the bench. If it were the entire bench, I would have told you. I just would have said, bench! If I were referring to the Hall of Fame catcher, I would have said, Johnny! Johnny Bench? Is that you? Oh my god, my dad is a huge fan. Do you do autographs? $50? Get out of here, Johnny Bench. Wait, is Johnny Bench dead? Hold up. Okay, we're gonna pause, because it's very important that I know whether or not Johnny Bench is dead. Yeah, obviously I mean Johnny Bench. Oh, he has a born but a not died. Okay, I can joke about getting autographs from Johnny Bench all I want. December 47. He's 73 years old. Oh my god, that means he's 3 years older than my parents. Maybe 4, but like right in that range. Man, my dad, I think it's late for his baseball career. I don't think it's going to happen. Dad, put down the mitt. I don't think they're going to call. Look, I know there's a team here now. There didn't used to be. Now there is. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Expansion drafts and whatnot. Yeah, I don't think they have one of those this year. And even if they did, look, I'm just trying to say there are draft charts, and I don't think you're high on anyone's draft chart. Don't look. You are 70 years old, okay? 70. Like, to where people that you have known who haven't talked to you in a while can say, is he still alive? And it's not weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm talking about a 12-year-old and I'm like, no, 12-year-old, is he still alive? Like, that would be super weird. That means that I have a trailer, and under that trailer, I have a bunch of used up 7-year-olds. Just used up and discarded. Oh god, that sounds horrible. Hey kids. Hey kids. No, kids. Oh my god. My cat is pooping and it smells like a million hobos farting in my mouth. Get out of here, hobos. My body is a temple. I guess Satan wins today. That's all that is. You win this one, Satan. You clever monkey. Oh, man. All the times in the Bible, they're like, hey, be wary of Satan. He's a clever monkey. But you're not the kitty who smells that bad. Like, how do you... Oh. How did you turn the air inside out? Like, it's problematic. I'm gonna need a minute. I'm gonna take a knee real quick. Come on, Jesus. Not today. Jesus. No, Jesus. Jesus. I'm ticklish, Jesus. Jesus. I swear to God, no, I'm ticklish. I might pee my pants. Okay, Jesus. Thought you knew things, had magic knowing things powers. How could you not know that if you tickled me, I might pee my pants, Jesus? Oh, God. Jesus. No, that one it was the expression. I wasn't referring to you specifically. Hey, you're a kitty. No, Jesus, you're not a kitty. No, I'm still doing this. No, while I'm doing this, a cat rubbed herself up on my leg, and she's adorable, and she's the best kitty in the world, and I love her. Yes, I'm still Jesus. Oh my. Okay, let me explain role-playing. When a mommy and a daddy and 3 other daddies have a relationship that gets a little stale. Oh God, this is not. This kitty, tell me not to post this one. Kitty, okay, if you're gonna jump up, you have to jump up. If you're gonna jump up, you have to jump up. Brow! Yeah! Oh, all right. Okay. Hey, you used me. You ain't that average groupie. Man, my homeboys tried to warn me. Actually, I'm kidding. I'm not going to talk about your butt. That would be wrong. That one, on the other hand. So, you may hear kitty sounds in the background. One of our kitties who we have not been able to get her fixed because all of the vets were down with the Rona not too long ago, and we have not been able to get an appointment to get her fixed. So she goes in heat like every 3 days or some crap. It feels like every 3 days. And then she's like, she's backing it up to inanimate objects. Like, let's just put it that way. She's just presenting to male cats who aren't there. Yeah. Very uncomfortable because this kitty, who normally doesn't enjoy having us pet her at all, is not only making us pet her, but trying to guide our hand. She'll grab your hand and be lower. It's like, kitty, I know there are no male cats here, but this, no, When I took my wedding vows, kitty, I was serious about them vows. Till death do us part, kitty. No, don't go kill my wife. You know I didn't wink when I said it. Kitty. Oh my God. I swear, if you kill her, sometimes you just don't listen. Just don't listen. Hey. Oh, yeah, I should show you the homestead. Show you what's happening. Over here we have a heavy-handed metaphor for the Trump administration. Oh, it's this hollow tower full of lava. It goes straight up and has no top and no floors. What does that mean? Oh, I think you know. I think you know. It's a heavy-handed. If it had been like a vague, unknowable, allegorical, long drawn out, who even knows Gulliver's Travels, people thinking, oh, it's a cute travel story. No, it's a biting rebuke of British politics. Anyway, it's like that. It's like it's unknowable to the average human. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Oh, I was showing. Oh, the metaphor for the Trump administration. Yeah, you right. No, go ahead and question me on that. I absolutely have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, hey, voice in my head right now. You're good people. You keep me company. I like that. I like that. Oh, you singing that "Marry Me, Juliet, and I'll Never Have to Be Alone" song? Wow, you are cheesy, but I like that. I like that about you. You're a little bit cheesy, not afraid to show your feelings. It's good. Nah, you good. I mean, as metaphors go, hmm. No, I mean, I'm married though, so like, it's not even a question. Like, I mean, yes, you're a cute metaphor, but like, oh god, Steinmiller. Oh, wait, I shouldn't be saying people's names on this, but like, okay, I gotta get this away from your house so that I can kill it. Seth Rogen. Anyway, come on. Oh, I'm in tall grass. There's gonna be one where I go to hit it and I hit the tall grass instead. Nope, just kidding. Steinmiller, I just wanted to. Dang it. Random other teacher that I may or may not know. Your house is not light enough to prevent creeper sproutage. Like this region. Maybe because you got this sweet platform going on. Anyway, I like the homestead, solid place. Remember that time when I was like, I'm gonna kill all these cows, and then you're like, oh yeah, I gotta pen in these cows, and I was like, oh, I did not know you were keeping these cows. I took all their leather and made them into books. Yeah. Okay, this is the Steinmill house. It's where the Steinmiller lives. This is not true. This is fake name. America. I'm talking to America right now. Like all of America is listening. This is the State of the Union. What? Where am I? Oh my god. Oh, you're a turtle. Congratulations. You know, turtles and tortoises are incredible creatures. You know, you go back to the days of the dinosaurs. You look what were turtles and tortoises doing? Oh, exactly what they do right now, because they're the most evolutionarily stable um, form for a species to take. It's like, nope, we done perfected it. You know, because in Daniel Dennett came up with the concept of what he called the good trick, and evolutionarily, when there's something that a species does that makes it more likely to survive, then the genes for that pass very quickly. I mean, obviously, the species which survive are those which end up mating, and so the genes of the surviving species. What? Yeah. Anyway, the genes of the surviving species are the ones that get passed on. Um, yeah. Anyway, so good trick is any trait that is so good that it just needs to be passed. Oh, I can't wait for this. This is Luna's cow farm, and no real names. This is. Oh god, I almost dead named. I was just trying to think of a generic name. I did not remember. This obviously, certain states of mind are not the best for doing this. Let's just say that. Oh, Luna's mom goes to college. Yeah, she does. Anyway, since these small ones are so small, I'm not gonna go to the village and get some hay because the parents won't be able to breed again so soon. But I am trying to get as many cows in a very small space as possible because it's funny. Will Luna ever sign in on the server? Dang it. Will person, woman, man, camera, TV ever sign in on the server? No, they never have. They don't exist. Hey, National Security Administration. Dark. Because I know that it's going to get dark and I won't be able to make it all the way home before it just get dark enough. I mean, come on, Johnny Bench. That's a callback to when I was talking about Johnny Bench earlier. See, if you reference material that you referenced earlier in the show, if you do it later in the show, it's called a callback. It means that you're winning at comedy. Because comedy is you versus the audience. It is performer versus audience. And if you successfully pull out a callback, that's worth 6 points. And if you tag the callback, that's the point after. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, I've been winning at comedy this whole time, undefeated this season. Tom Brady getting off the boat completely smashed. It's I'm not gonna say I don't want to meet that in the playoffs, but it's pretty funny. And when we come up against them, we'll see if we can keep this winning streak going. This winning at comedy streak. Remember when I did a callback to winning at comedy? And by referencing a callback, I was calling that, oh my god, I'm winning at comedy so hard. Because, getting in references to pre-existing things while I made the thing where I was talking about callbacks and I called back to it. And by referencing the callback and calling back to the reference, I'm basically hovering. I'm hovering like a foot and a half off the ground right now, and lights are shooting out of my eyes. And I think I'm going to ascend unto the highest of highs because I'm too evolved for this planet anymore. I mean, I have, I've gone beyond your limited mortal imaginations and have ascended to heights that you can scarcely understand. And the weird thing about it is that this isn't even my final form. This is another mortal coil that I can, shuffle off. Just like any other. Just like the many that I've shed before. Reincarnation, is it real? No. No, mathematically it's very problematic. Because, populations grow over time unless you have some sort of cataclysmic event. And, oh god, I'm gonna need a bunch of stuff to play this hole. Okay, that's fine. Lava. Come on, lava. Anyway. But yeah, reincarnation. The problem is that, At one point, there were only, a few 100,000 people on the earth, and now there are 7.5 billion of us. Soul-wise, the math does not work out, because if the soul is what carries on and enters a new body, the soul math doesn't work, unless of course you want to say oh, but human souls to animal souls, because a lot of people reincarnated as getting reincarnated as a lowly insect, which would mean that beetles are the much more common species than humans, and so are beetles greater than us in terms of reincarnation state? Anyway, I doubt it, because beetles are disgusting and gross, and entomologists are horrible. They should take the N out and be etymologists, which would make me get along with them at parties. So we talk about Greek and Latin roots and be like, oh my God, you right. You right about that. Ha 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 ha. Greek word, Latin word, Greek word. Ha 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 ha. Mixing our, Greek and Latin roots together in ways that make no sense, but are only funny to people with that kind of a background in language. Oh. I shall wreak my vengeance upon this slime who hath done existed. We've talked about this week in class. One of the more fascinating things about the concept of, having a military and whatnot. You have a military to ostensibly protect your country. So you have soldiers who know how to do some soldiering. But, the idea of soldiering is so very different from your average person's life, because your average person will not kill another human being for no reason. Well, or for any reason. Many people would be like, no, not with the killing, not for me, will not do. I mean, most human beings will, live out their entire lives without squeezing out the life of somebody else. Which, good. I mean, for the survival of the species and whatnot, fantastic. Nicely done, people. Way to not murder. So, yes, setting the bar very high. But yeah, most of us have not and will not engage in murderous activities. And hooray for us. Because, that's, murder is generally frowned upon in most cultures. Anyway, I've got another snizzack pizzak. Another snizzy pizzy. No, that makes it sound like pee. Makes it sound like one of those guys. Of all the weird allegations made about our outgoing president, you never hope, regardless of which side you're on, you never hope that your nation is embroiled in scandal. You never hope that your nation has to address, corruption or treason or anything of the sort at the highest levels. Nobody is saying oh, yay, hooray, we get to, take a look at some very serious negative actions. But be that as it may, I did not enjoy the scandal. I did not enjoy the constant assault on the concept of objective reality.
But there was the allegation that there existed a PP tape. And if you know what the PP tape is all about, then awesome, good for you. And if you don't, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Hmm. I mean, I suppose I could explain it, but that would be robbing you of the feeling of accomplishment when you spend an hour on the internet falling down that particular rabbit hole, and you wind up where I am, which is like, God, I wish that were true. But then you have to question within yourself, why is that a thing that I would want to be true? It's disgusting and horrifying. But like, the fact is, I mean, as a fan of comedy, uh, you can't ask for much better than that. I mean, the universe sometimes just really puts together the kind of hilarity that you can only dream of inventing with your own brain. And anyway, if that allegation were true, and I had constant hope that it would be, I walked all the way over there to get gravel, and now I have no gravel, and so I have to go all the way back. My mind is going. I can feel it. See, the fun thing about having students who were born in the 2000s, as if like that's a millennium to be born in. Anyway, is that like you can reference things that you think are reasonably recent, and they will be like, the what now? The huh? Like, remember how The Matrix is like a new movie? Like, it's new. Like, I mean, you don't think that it came out last year, but you're like, no, it's like new though. It feels new. I'm saying this assuming that you, dear listener, are an old person like myself. Anyway, but you'd be like, oh yeah, the Matrix. It's one of them new movies, them newfangled. It's a talkie. Uh, no, but your brain is gonna be like, yeah, that movie came out after I graduated high school. Therefore, like high school took a long, long time, and that, like 4 years took 107 years for me to get through, which, by the way, those of you going to school during the pandemic, oh boy, oh, boo boo. Anyway, I don't know why Yogi Bear came into the equation. Yeah, you know. I got the stone, I didn't get the gravel. People are going to be wondering about what I've done to my brain at this moment. But I assure you that any brain type effects are rather quotidian. Yeah, see, I could still use the word quotidian in a grammatically correct sentence. And you're saying to yourself, I don't know that word. Yeah, because you don't have a master's degree in English. Anyway, I have one of those. It hangs on the wall of my classroom. It cost me $30,000 to get a degree that allows me to wear robes that have sleeves that dangle down and make everyone ask, like, is there something wrong with your robes? And then every time you have to put them on for graduation, you accidentally put your arm in the like dangle down part, and you look like an idiot, like someone who's never worn academic dress, and you're like, I paid $30,000 for these robes, and I will pay for it until either I have paid it all back 3 times over in interest, or until a Democrat is elected and they're like, you know what, maybe instead of like giving quintillions in tax cuts to businesses and billionaires. I swear, because I'm talking about things, my brain is elsewhere. Instead of giving billions in tax cuts to quintillionaires, like, how about we instead like forgive the student loan debt of teachers who are working in, oh, I don't know, let's say impoverished communities or small rural communities, or like any one of the other descriptors that you could put on the place where I do my teaching. Anyway, and then you say, like, why don't we forgive these people their debt, because it will cost our country like uh, a fraction of the cost of giving tax cuts to people who don't even pay taxes. Because they have sneaky accountants. Like, okay, if we're gonna have an IRS, then, you know, every American should also have access to one or more sneaky accountant. I have a sneaky accountant. His name is Steve. Hey Steve, wave to the camera. Hey guys, I'm Steve. Steve, I didn't realize you had any lines in this scene. Hey, I just thought that... You thought nothing. Which of us is the creative genius? Which of us did that one scene that went on for entirely too long and sapped the will of the audience to the point where they were openly wishing for their own death? Who? Was that you? Did you come up with that? If you did, I would kiss you full on the lips, because then I wouldn't have had to come up with it. Could have had a weekend. Could have finished that macrame project I've been working on. You know I do macrame. No, it did not die with the 1970s. Look, I support you and your hobbies. You know what? When we go to the counselor on Tuesday, I'm bringing this up. No, I'm already writing it down. No, you can't. No. Don't touch my things. That's something we talked about that last week. No. He told me that I have to make positive, assertive, I feel statements. And I feel that you are not respecting my right. Don't look at me like that, and don't walk away. No. We are talking about this at some point. You think you're going to escape it now, but if you and I are going to make it, then we need to address this. And if we're not going to make it, then I think we both need to just look. No. I mean, I love you, but like sometimes no. Come on. No, come on. Let me. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do for you? You know what I'm gonna do for you? Sarah. Anyway. Do you know what I'm gonna do for you? Do you? You know what? I'm gonna make you a little brother. That's right. I'm gonna make one of those little brothers. Yep. I know how to make them. I made the older brother. I can make the younger brother too. Pretty sure I know how that works. population. Every species. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, not every plant species. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Yeah, I'm gonna pack sand. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so this is a thing that I'm doing. I'm walking off. I know I'm probably gonna end this video soon. This video might be 7.5 hours at this point. It might be. It feels like it's at least that extensive. It is absurd. It's an absurd length. Oh, you gonna come at me, Jobby? You think you're gonna get a piece of this, Jobby? Anyway, he's especially not gonna get a piece of this. After I go here until the video recording